What is the difference between freestyle Qigong and spontaneous Qigong? That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of Qi Life, as well as, so I'll give you a description and explanation of the difference between these two practices, as well as a few cautions about them. So freestyle Qigong and spontaneous Qigong are very similar concepts in many ways, and sometimes it's useful to be able to distinguish conceptually between the two of them though. So freestyle Qigong, as a brief description, is where you allow yourself to move in any way you choose, to explore, play with the energy, and guide the energy in any way that you like. So you're not constrained by specific movements or specific forms. You circulate the energy anywhere you want. You move in any way you want in order to accomplish that. Spontaneous Qigong, again, similar concept, slightly different in quality, and that is where you let the energy move you. And essentially you just tune in to relax your body, tune into the energy, and then just let it move you however you want. So that's a brief description of the two of them. And I will talk a little bit more now about the purpose of them and about where you may need to have some caution about them as well. So you can compare freestyle Qigong a little bit to doodling. We've all practiced drawing, I hope, at some stage in our lives, where you have a piece of paper, you have a pen or a pencil, and you draw different shapes and you play with different things, and maybe you find a shape that you're interested in, you play with it some more, and maybe you should explore some themes with it, and you generally explore the strokes and the shapes and things like that. That's one type of freestyle Qigong. Another type of freestyle Qigong is where we actually set an intention for our Qigong practice. So this it could be to free up some tension in our lower back. It could be to loosen some stiff shoulders. It could be something like to improve at a particular sport. It could be much more abstract than that. It could be something to do with improving our relationships or our financial situation, anything like that. And we then allow ourselves to have an interface between our conscious and our unconscious. Our conscious sets the intention, we allow our unconscious to help guide us into exploring different movements that may help to free our body and free our energy to allow it to become healthier in that area that we have chosen that we want to practice on. So freestyle Qigong, there's great freedom to it, but there's always an element of being guided by the consciousness, by the conscious mind. The conscious mind letting the unconscious contribute and put things into it, but overseeing the process. Spontaneous Qigong generally kind of comes from the other side. It simply lets the energy start to direct and move in any way that it likes to, and you try to put the conscious mind aside and just let it happen. Now, there are different versions of this spontaneous Qigong. Some of them are very gentle. One that is quite popular is a practice, and it has different names in different schools. Sometimes, bamboo swaying in the wind, or flowing breeze swaying willow is a name I've seen it called popularly recently. Very, very gentle, and essentially you just let the body sway with the movement, and this swaying, this gentle movement, helps to facilitate the movement of energy through your body. And because naturally as the energy moves, the body wants to move a little bit as well, and so this helps the energy to move through more freely. And of course, this is a principle we use in many Qigong practices, many Qigong exercises, where we move our arms, we move our legs, we move our body in different ways to help the energy to move through. Now, normally we do this consciously in specific ways to help the energy move in specific ways, but a gentle sort of flowing and swaying is a way to generally let the energy open up and move through. It can be very healthy for people. Then there's a more vigorous type of spontaneous Qigong, where instead of just letting you flow and sway gently, you may start to have bigger movements, and sometimes fast, energetic, sometimes erratic movements. Sometimes making sounds, jumping, rolling on the ground, all sorts of things. There can be benefit in this as well, but there can also be hazards. The gentle practice is almost always safe. The more vigorous practice, there can be some dangers. And part of this comes from, sometimes people think, just following the energy knows what to do, it'll be fine. Sometimes there may be an existing harmful energy pattern within you. And if you just follow that, if you just let that manifest any way it wants, this can further reinforce that pattern and in fact create more harm, more damage. Now hopefully that's not what's going to happen most of the time, but that is a possibility. And so for any of those more vigorous, spontaneous Qigong practices, you need to treat them with due caution and due respect. And I would suggest, for one, not just trying them by yourself, but if you do want to explore that, be aware of the potential danger and practice them, or certainly learn to practice them, learn to experience them under the guidance of someone with sufficient skills, sufficient experience to help you with that process. Because they, hopefully, again with sufficient skill and experience, are going to be able to guide you and going to be able to discern whether you are following your energy in a healthy way, or if you are allowing your energy to direct and move you in a way that potentially could be unhealthy to you, and they'll be able to guide you into how to moderate that process so that it only has good effects and no harmful effects. So I guess if I were to summarize the difference, or one way I could summarize the difference between freestyle Qigong and spontaneous Qigong, both can be really useful in different ways. I guess the downside of freestyle Qigong sometimes is you just get caught just kind of wafting and not getting anywhere, and that's where it's helpful if you set an intention so that your practice becomes purposeful. But as a general description, or a general way to summarize this, if we think about going swimming in the sea, going swimming when there are waves, sometimes it's really fun to go out into the sea and just let the waves lift you and drop you, lift you and drop you, maybe push you around a little bit. And if those waves are gentle or even moderate, you're going to be fine. It's not going to cause any problems. If those waves get really, really strong and you just let yourself go with those waves, that could be harmful to you. They could push you to the bottom and not let you back up. They could throw you around in a way that's too violent, that may injure you. So, what's the alternative? The alternative is to, yes, go out and enjoy the waves, yes, work with the waves, but learn to ride them rather than just be pushed around by them. Spontaneous Qigong is a bit like being pushed around by the waves. Particularly when they're gentle, safe, no problem. When it's stronger, then there needs to be some caution. Freestyle Qigong is like learning to ride the waves, either swimming or surfing, to work with those waves and then use the energy of those natural waves to be directed into whatever it is that you're hoping to achieve from your practice, to work with and flow with those waves in a harmonious way, and one that hopefully helps you to stay safe and get the benefits that you desire. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Maybe it's given you something to think about in your Qigong practice, some things that may be able to help you. Maybe you agree with what I've said here in this vlog, or maybe you disagree. And look, that's not uncommon, as with many areas of life, for different teachers, different practitioners to have different opinions about Qigong practice. If so, leave a comment below. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, particularly about the difference between freestyle and spontaneous Qigong, and maybe your experience with one or both of those. If you are interested in learning about freestyle Qigong, that's something that we teach about and we go into detail with in the Enter the Flow course at Long White Cloud Qigong, so that might be something that you'd be interested in checking out. Yeah, if you have enjoyed the vlog, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things. That really helps to raise awareness of this. I am hoping to reach lots of people to help share the benefits of Qigong and help them to get more from their Qigong practice, whatever it is they're currently doing. Alright, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.